Hey. I don't know. I was thinking about making a non-talking driving video, but I feel kind of chatty. Sorry. So that might just be what it is. Who knows? I don't know. It is cold as fuck. We're gonna go to Shelbyville. We're gonna smoke some cigarettes and we might talk. I don't know. Mystery. So it snowed again, like a fourth of an inch. So, you know, clearly everyone is losing their minds. I hate getting out of the gas station. I got Monster for our drive. Yeah. I'm gonna move the seat back because we're a little close to each other, which is fine, but I guess I'm full YouTube today. This is a YouTube channel I like a lot, and I contacted them and asked if I could go mudlarking with them whenever I'm in England, and I got a who knows. So maybe. They said they don't like to schedule out that far, which is totally fair because it is. Because I asked like a couple months ago or something, so that would be a lot in advance. I'll bother them again when it gets closer. They could also just look at my channel and not like me and just be nice instead of saying no flat out, but we'll see. So, because it is so fucking cold, I don't want to sit out in the snow. As much as I love you, it is like, it feels like single digits. It's 28, which makes me sound like a pussy, but, because that's not super, super, super cold, but it feels way colder. Drive. And there we go. I've been smoking so much less since it's been cold. It probably is like 10 a day. Which, you know, is exactly as much as I normally smoke. So that's, so really it's the same amount, not less. I lied. No, when I'm faced with like bone-chilling, bitter cold, because normally I would have like 2 in a row, or like it's really nice just like hang out on the porch and do a couple, and not when it's cold. I can barely get through 100 whenever it's cold. thinking I could just get by with just get by. I could just, not get the 100 packs of Lucky Strikes and just get the regular shorter ones, or as I always called in my head, Little Dick cigarettes, which I know they're not Little Dick cigarettes. They're just, to me, they're so short, stubby. It feels weird to smoke them, but I just keep getting the hundreds. I don't know. I know once the first couple drags are done, it's like the same thing. Then it's the length of the normal cigarette. I guess it's a little narrower, but I just like 100s. So if I can't get all the way through it, I guess I'm just being wasteful. Here's my answer to way too many things. I start to think too much, and then I'm like, this isn't worth thinking about. I'll just go, in my head, and then I'm just done. I have the problem of overthinking and underthinking. I feel like I have a lot of stories circulating in my head. Gotta pick one that's at least relatively appropriate. I feel like I let myself be a little more risque on Patreon because less people see it. But it isn't for Patreon, so I gotta rein it in a little bit. Worried about making a smoking and driving video with fellow Kentucky drivers when there's a dusting of snow on the ground, but the roads are perfect, so it's fine. I have two pugs. One of them's name is Burkus. He's the older one. He's fawn colored, so he's like the traditional pug colors, like brown, black face, a little bit of black on his trace on his butt, not on his, in front of his tail. I thought his little race was great, but he was acting like drunk, and so I picked him up out of his bed and let him walk around in like the main part of the house, and he started like running into walls, and I was like, oh, this is not good. So I took him to the vet, and they told me that his retinas had become detached just randomly, and that he was now blind. And I was like, well, wow. I get that pugs, have issues, but that seems like a really random thing to happen. Just like now have a completely blind dog to the point where he was like running into walls and stuff. So I brought him home, and I was like, well, now he's blind. And I was sitting on the couch with him, and he acted really like unsettled, and then he started kind of freaking out, and he had what I thought was like a panic attack, and then I googled it. It was like dogs can have panic attacks, and I did not know that. And I was like, fair enough. Being randomly blind would be very disorienting and stressful. So I kind of thought that was that. And then the next morning I noticed that he had like a couple, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. And so I took him to the emergency vet, where I had kind of started thinking it might be seizures too. I couldn't really tell because I'm not an animal pro, and he was sure enough having seizures. So he spent like 3 days and nights in the animal hospital, where they gave him seizure medication, and they said that he got like one eye really big and one eye really little, and it was like really hit or miss whether or not he was going to be okay, because he was like not walking and stuff. And then after they gave him medicine, he only had one more seizure, and then after a couple of days he like started eating and started walking again and stuff. And so they let me take him home, and I've been giving him the seizure medicine 3 times a day. But I was really big on like, is he going to have quality of life? Like, I don't mind giving him medicine, but like, is he going to be okay? And that's why he was there so long, because we were trying to figure out if he was going to have like a functional, okay life, or if we were going to have to do something about it. And I think the vet understood. I hope I didn't sound like eager to put him down or something. I was just really trying to stress that I wanted him to be able to like be happy and function if I was going to make him live out the rest of his days like that. But he seems fine now, and I'm just giving him medicine. But I think it stems from that, like, whenever I was growing up, my parents, we always had pets, like random pets. I had mice whenever I was in 7th grade, and which I guess not everyone knows what 7th grade is. 7th grade, you'd be like 12, 13, and I had this mouse that was like trying to die. It was trying to starve itself. It was old and done, and my parents just wouldn't let this thing die. Like, my mom found this small animal hospital for this mouse that was like meant to be snake food at a pet store for like $1. It doesn't matter how much the mouse cost, but it was like $1.50 mouse. But like, they were taking it to the vet. Like, we took it to the vet like 3 or 4 times, and at the end we were like force feeding it strawberry yogurt through like this little syringe thing without a needle. And I didn't really realize how fucked up that was whenever I was little, but like, you should have just let it die. But my parents, like, the kind of, like, it's I guess it's sweet that like they want it to live as long as possible, but like when it's to where it's like actively wanting to die, it does not have any quality of life. I'm very put it out of its misery kind of person. And we also had this cat that had diabetes, and we had to give it insulin shots a couple of times a day, but like maybe that's fine for some animals that have that, if like their life is fine once you give them the shots. But that cat's life was not fine. We were just making it live longer, and it was miserable. Like, it drank water all the time and like had diapers on and stuff. I just, to the point where I would not push it. But I think that's made me really careful to not want to force life on something that doesn't want it. You know, I guess an animal can't, like, well, I think they can decide to stop eating, die, but I don't know. As much as I love Burkus, I was just like, I'm not going to do that to him. But I'm glad that he recovered and we didn't have to make that call, because it really looked like we were going to have to, and that would have sucked. He was my first pug. He's the reason I love pugs so much. He got me into them. So he was only 7, but I didn't want him to be like have his brain fried and like barely functioning for the last. I mean, pugs have an average life of like 15 years. Noodles, when I had to put him down because his trachea was collapsing, he was 16. Because the vet told me that like trachea fixing is sketchy and painful, and he was already 16. So I was like, probably don't want to do that to him. But I guess this is a downer conversation, but it's not really, because Burkus is okay. But that was very stressful last week. But now I just give him pills and turkey, and he's like totally fine and like his normal self, which is kind of funny because when the vet wanted me to like come get him, she was like, you can come and see him, but I can't tell if he has like damage, and I can't tell what part of that is, if it's damage or if it's that he's just a pug. And I saw him and saw how he was acting. I was like, oh no, he's always like that. That's him. He's good. He's just always kind of like, but no, I can tell he's happy. He's very happy when he gets his pills, and like I'll keep an eye on him and stuff. But he seems like totally normal now. I guess just as long as I give him his medicine so he doesn't have another seizure, he'll be fine. I just feel very lucky about that. These little nuances look like brain damage. It's fair. They're weird. Pugs are weird. They're not even really dogs. Loud. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. I'm sorry. It's just so cold. Maybe if I put it all down, that's better. Oh, I have, actually, it's like getting more copywritten. I have my project, I swear to God it's real, even though it's taking a bit. which is fine, but it's just a big project. My project that I went to LA for, which I will hopefully be going to LA again for very, very soon. It's definitely gonna like happen and get finished this year. There's a lot of development stuff that's happened the past week and a half with it, and I have a phone call about it today. But it's gotten bigger, and I'm very, very excited. Whenever it's done, I can actually tell you guys about it. I feel like an asshole mentioning it since I can't really say much, but a lot has happened with it in the past week or so, and I'm just very excited about it. It definitely did not putter off and die. It grew. But we will have some more LA videos when I go out there. I might need to go to New York again, I don't know. But it is very exciting. I guess they're not comfortable going faster, but I do have like a solid line of cars behind me. It's not my fault. I'm not in front of it. Chill day. It'll be a good hangout day. living in Kentucky, I wouldn't have to deal with cold very often, but God, January, February, it is. This feels like Iowa here. Just north enough to get real cold. I think Tennessee probably does in the mountains too, but when you get to Alabama, Georgia, you don't get such extreme cold winter time. Yellow light. Why am I cupping my hand? There's the wind. Habit. I guess all of this is a habit. Just said flowing rat in my face. Damn it, I am a little southern. Speaking of southern, I guess it's that time again. Yesterday I saw my racing lawnmower, my neighbor that works on racing lawnmowers had a very smashed up demo car in his driveway he was working on. And I was like, oh, signs of spring. Nature returning. See how little snow there is. This is more snow than we had, was it last week, the week before, when they canceled school for 3 days. That's how uncomfortable Kentuckians are with the snow. My favorite was that the first day they canceled it. It was the night before, and we didn't get like any snow the next day. They hear like rumors of snow and school gets canceled. And the like scraping ice trucks are out and they're like just scraping just bare road because there's nothing falling. We're just very cautious. I do have an extreme fear of walking on ice, like I waddle, because I think back in the olden days when I was in high school, we had to walk outside to get to the cafeteria, country school, and there was this thing that they called the breezeway, which was like basically a scrap metal covering a walkway that did nothing to stop water or rain, ice, anything from getting all over the sidewalk. I don't really even know why I was there. But it's always covered in slick ice in January and February. And I had some spectacular events of falling on my ass in front of people. And then it really hurts because you hit your tailbone, but then you can't act like it hurts. And you just kind of have to laugh while you're in pain. Which is kind of a good analogy for all metaphor. I don't know. Good, similar, no. A good picture of just what high school is. You just grin through the pain. Such a cute downtown area. So cute. We are going to park here. The place I came to is closed. Of course it is. Good job, Lindsay. Well, this was a fun little drive for us. I guess I'll find something on this main street to get into since I drove here. I should have checked. It's Martin Luther King Day. And I was thinking it was a weekend, but no, it's not. It's Monday. Okay. I'll see you next time.